Hi YouTube. This is my Honda Prelude 97. Other than a wash, it is in great condition. A good 9 out of 10, I'd say. And it is for sale. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm just ready to move on to something better. Could use the money right now anyways. And I just don't drive it. I find myself driving my Jeep a lot more. So this thing is pretty much just parked. So yeah, I like the old school look, that's why I got the bra. There's nothing wrong with the front end. No dents or scratches, it's just I like the old school look. So now for the good part. I'm asking $7 grand for it, and the reason why is because of that. It's a fully built H23 VTEC. The only thing stock in this engine are the rocker arms and the crankcase. Turbonetics 57 trim turbo, pushing 15 pounds with no problem. I've got the dyno sheet laminated in the car, and it is 325 horsepower with 320 torque. I believe it is fast. That's for dang sure. And I've got a lot of extra little gizmos here and there, so it's not just the build, but I've added some other little things. It's best if you were to just call me, contact me, and come and look at the car in person. I've also got 5 rims for the car, so I have a full-size spare with a new tire on it. Show you the interior. Nice and dark tinted windows, gauges, stereo. It's got the Type S with the LSD tranny in it, so if it's going to spin the tires, which it does, it spins both. I have the shift light, never got around to installing or wiring, but that was the best place I could find for it. So the first gauge here is obviously the boost, vacuum and then boost, oil pressure, oil temperature, and over here is another slot. I was going to put another gauge for my intercooler temps, but never got around to it. So whoever buys the car, I guess there's an extra spot there for you to put whatever you want. Stereo in here is pretty bumpin'. I've got real nice Sony speakers front and back, amped, and there's an amp for a sub, but I'm going to be keeping the sub. So if you got a sub, it's pretty much ready to go. Interior, other than a vacuum, it's in really good shape. There's no tears or stains or anything like that, and as usual the back seat's like new. Nobody ever sits back there. I got some stuff and some car stuff. Obviously these always come with a sunroof. I've put the battery in the trunk. It's got a red top Optima battery. Alright, I'll show you the trunk here. For the condition of the car, I feel 7 is a good number to start with. There's been a lot of money put into this thing, and like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm just ready for something different. So there's the sub I'm keeping, but there's the battery, and the amps I've got mounted just perfectly on that back seat. Both Sony amps. I believe that one's for the sub and that one's for the speakers. So this thing handles great. It's got D2 racing coilovers, fully adjustable. Right now I've got it on the softest setting and it still handles amazing. Lower struts, upper sways. Power steering cooler, oversized radiator. The cooling fan, I obviously couldn't fit one here because of no space, but I do have one big one here pulling, and I've got a smaller one mounted up here in the front that's pulling in as well, and that does just fine. I haven't had absolutely no overheating issues. Running a lower temp thermostat too. Let's see, lots of stuff to list. I could go on and on. Got the Ralco lightweight pulley kit, stage 5 clutch, adjustable cam gears, which have been adjusted or degreed, whatever you want to call it. Thing runs amazing. Skunk 2 stage 2 camshafts. VTEC comes in a little late, but that's just how they ended up dynoing it. I was okay with it, even though everybody loves that VTEC kick. It comes in, I think, around 5K. But this thing pushes so much power you can't even notice it. It just goes. Red line is at 8, if not after 8, but I try not to abuse it. Lightweight flywheel. ARP bolts everywhere I could get. Skunk 2 Pro intake manifold. Skunk 2 throttle body. Like I said, nothing on here is stock. Everything's pretty much been swapped. Ignal's motor dampener, which does wonders. I used to have stiff mount inserts, and I took out the front one because it was vibrating a lot. It was just too stiff, and I left the rear one in. The sides are stock mounts. I took the front one out, and that made a huge difference. It's a lot smoother, doesn't vibrate at all. It runs like a stock car. It idles perfectly fine. Little coolant filter, sight glass there. Like I said, I've got little extras here and there, stuff like that. One thing I never got around to doing was installing a catch can, but it's pretty much set up for one. Ready to go. Just gotta get one, put it in. Skunk 2 full exhaust, catless. I do have the silencer insert in it, just because I like to be a little bit of the sleeper side. So it's not loud. Doesn't look great, but it's not loud, it's quiet, and people they underestimate this car. They try to mess with me on the road, and next thing you know, I'm out of there. It's funny to see their faces. I mean, yeah. So the other thing, a lot of people, when they do these builds, they remove the ABS brakes and the air conditioner and all that. I still have all that. I didn't want to lose the luxury part of the car. So it still has functioning ABS, which are great. Still has AC, which works. Power steering, whatnot. So Yeah, I could go on and on with what's in here. Ferrari valves, skunk 2 on everything on the head other than the valves is skunk 2. Retainer clips, springs, CP low compression turbo pistons, Darton sleeves, Eagle rods, ACL race bearings for the bottom end. Speaking of the bottom end, this thing takes 7 quarts of oil because I've got the I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, it's got that what brand is that? I forget. It's got an oversized aluminum oil pan. So it's also got that under there. Can't see it from here, it's too low. Can't get my camera under there. High pressure fuel pump, AEM fuel rail, injector dynamics 1000s for injectors, VMS fuel regulator. Turbo Smart wastegate. It's an open dump, so when the turbo opens, it's a quiet car, but when you lay on it, it screams, which is kind of cool. K&N filter, that's obvious. I do have the Skunk 2 caps there, and I have the Skunk 2 VTEC solenoid housing. Just little extras here and there for a flashier look. I got this thing tuned at Speed Factory in Tacoma. The guys were pretty impressed for it being a home build. They were trying to convince me to swap out the exhaust manifold, but I had enough money in this already. They were telling me that with this build, the motor has a lot of potential to go over 400 horsepower, but 325 in my book is more than enough. But if you do want to spend more money, you could get one of those shoehorn exhaust manifolds, redo your downpipe and your intercooling piping, and you could push a lot more power out of this, from what I was told. Went with a thicker head gasket. I think it's a 45 LMA, just to get the compression a little lower for the turbo. So yeah, $7 grand. If anybody's interested, I'll accept offers, but I'll obviously say no to anything that's a ridiculous low number. I do have the spoiler for it. I just like the slicker, more base model look. So I had these, this one's faded, but these are just little plastic caps to fill the holes. But I do have the spoiler. You could always put it back on if you wanted. The only 2 stickers I have on the car is my little Spartan and that one. Oh, and the side. So brakes work amazing, handle's awesome. Tanabe or however you pronounce it. The sways and struts made a huge difference. It's tight. It's real tight. You stiffen the suspension on this thing, it is rock solid. You can take corners like a mother. Awesome car. But I'm off to better projects. I want to get a bike and get a lift kit for the Jeep. Pay some bills, so I just don't drive this thing anymore. But anybody's interested, message me. If you want to come and see it, message me. If you want more info, message me, I guess. Do have a detachable steering wheel. I don't know if you noticed. I was gonna get racing seats, but like I said, I never got that far. I was slowly converting the trim in here to leather with blue stitching. What I wanted was to get blue or leather seats with blue stitching. And they're on, you can find them still, but as you can see, I've swapped this to leather with blue stitching. The boot is a is a Sparco leather boot with blue stitching, blue shifter. Sparco wheel with a NRG quick detach hub and Sparco quick release. So the theme in here, LED, oh you can't see, it's too bright out, but they're blue LED, so the whole dash lights up blue. I like the blue look in here. I was trying to go for a blue theme, not ridiculous, but something nice and clean. The gauges, they've got all sorts of colors you can pick and choose. You can get them to cycle, so that's kind of cool. The Glow Shift brand. Not the best, but not the cheapest. They're alright, they do their job. Only thing I'm not happy with was the oil pressure sensor, because it's not a mechanical sensor. It tends to kind of jump around. Pressure's fine, just the sensor itself is not the greatest, but it works. Tells you got pressure, and that's what you need to know. If it drops, you'll definitely know that. Oh, what else? Yeah, no tears up in the ceiling or in the overhead. Nice and clean. I keep this thing pretty detailed for the most part, but we've had some rain now and it's gotten a little bit dirty. I actually usually have it in the garage, but garage has other stuff in it right now. So, yep, time to move on. Like I said, if you guys are interested, message me. I'll try to get a Craigslist and an offer up post and link the video to it. Make things simple, so I don't have to sit there typing a whole list. Taillights are all LED as well, except for the brakes. I've wired it to where the brake light is off. The running lights are the middle one and the side, so it looks kind of cool. Turn signals are LED that blink yellow, even though it looks like a white clear lens. You can kind of see the yellow, maybe not. I'll show you. Put the hazards on. It looks better at night. Everything looks better at night. LED white reverse lights. Oh, it does also have a backup camera, which probably doesn't need it, but it's there. It works perfectly fine with the stereo. It's a nice little thing to have so you don't bump into people. So yeah, like I said, I have 5 rims. These are 18s by 8 with Continental Extreme contact tires. They work, but the guys at the dyno said they won't hold. They hold, but if you really lay on it through first and second, it'll just spin. This is more of a freeway puller, if anything, right off the line, with no traction control. It just spins the tires. Side marker, white LED, HID, headlights. I do have the fogs in there as well, and a fog switch. Alright, well, I guess that's enough. If you guys are interested, message me. Thanks for looking.